Ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Michael Wilkes, Angel Ortiz, Dr. Chad, and Sam La Cavera. Go check out beardedbrowns.com and be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Enjoy the show.
What is up, everybody? It's your favorite podcast, the Bearded Browns podcast. And there is just two yet again. We're going on a streak here where it's just two of us.
Yeah, we are. We're doing great. I was going to interrupt. I was going to be like, Gary, just interrupt your introduction there. But I was like, man, that's rude. But Gary thinks it's funny. So
yeah, I realize that it's been two of us just for about a month now. Either you've been missing or Chad's been missing. Chad is off for work. He might hop in. He said he's running a little behind. We'll see if he does. If not, Chad had a long week at work. Just like you. He had one of your weeks where you had for a whole month, Michael, with your job. It's been pretty crazy here. But hey, we are like Todd Monken. We adjust and we play ball well. Either way, we're here for you guys tonight. He adjusts. Like he adjusts his scheme based upon the situation. Like we adjust well. Like if it's one of us, we're going to go 100%. We're ready always, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. We're ready. What is up, Gregory? Thank you for saying good evening with a beer emoji. This is what I got for my daughters for Valentine's Day. It's a Browns, what do they call these? It's a igloo type of thing.
sippy cup, an adult sippy cup
on it. Yeah, how was your Valentine's Day, man?
Good. I went to a place I've been wanting to try like crazy, man. It's called Bistro 83. Not a sponsor, but
it can be.
Definitely, yeah, it could be. But it's definitely some really, really good food. We got some calamari, and then I got some
calamari. Man, you fancy?
No, that was like the only fancy thing we got. She got like a burger. No, I got a burger, and she got some mushroom flatbread pizza with all kinds of like organic fancy mushrooms on it. It was good. It was really good. I've been wanting to go to that place now for like 3 years, and finally I made reservations on Valentine's Day because that's how great of a husband I am.
You were like, bam, let's go right now. You got 5 minutes. You got to get ready. I got reservations.
At 4:30 at 2 o'clock was the only available opening, and we went.
What's up, Quick Clips? What's up, Alternative Motive Sports Podcast Network? Everybody showing love in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. I took my wife out to Rosewood Grill here in Strongsville. It was a last minute thing. Listen, it's been 10 months since we went on a date, bro. 10 months
since Arlo's been born.
Yeah, since Arlo's born. I as soon as her mom came home, I was out. I ran out of the house, and then we stayed gone for about 5 hours. It was a fun time. I had a nice steak. I had some old fashions, maple old fashions that taste really good. I'm not a big maple guy, but that tastes really good. It was fun, man. It was good to get out and talk to my wife about, her future vision and my vision and what we want to do in our lives and not having any interruptions with kids. It was fun. What's up, KP Young? Either way, you guys don't want to hear about our personal lives, even though I know you might be interested in our marriage. But no. Top 10, my man. Woo. Chadwick.
Wow. What a rush.
He is still in scrubs.
Together. Finally, it's been about a month.
I didn't even change out of the surgical scrubs. I just bolted out of the hospital. I'm gone. See ya.
We didn't get too much. We were just talking about our weekend and how we wined and dined our wives on Valentine's Day. Do you guys do that in California? Valentine's Day? No. See, lucky. I thought it was a weird. I thought that was a Ohio thing too.
So since Sweetest Day is an Ohio thing, do you guys celebrate Sweetest Day?
That is true.
California as well? No,
I think Sweetest Day. So. Yeah, I think
Calif-
that's
I don't
in
think so.
Ohio too.
California's
Valentine's
for lovers. You guys love each other every day, right?
Ohio's for lovers. We do, and honestly, it's just coincidental. Like neither me or Katie like care about Valentine's Day, and I know girls are like, I don't really care, but then they want a bunch of stuff. She is just not into it. She's like, other holidays, other like events, yes. Her birthday, like, yeah, nice dinner. Let's take a weekend trip, something. Valentine's Day, she doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but
Man.
I'm married to somebody that wants to be bothered on
There you
Valentine's
go.
Day.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
In that case, you pivot.
Yeah, always.
Pivot.
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 None.
So we all know.
Well, I'm glad we're all together. We get to talk about some cool stuff today. Browns hired DC. Finally, it took them about 3 weeks. We're going to talk about should this fan base be a little patient considering the moves the Browns currently made. A couple of quarterback questions I have for you guys. It's in the notes, and I have a mystery quarterback question. I want to bring up a scenario with you guys that I am holding to myself, and I just want your instant reaction with. But before we get into all that, we got the news. Today is franchise tag day, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Who you waiting to get franchise tag? Who's waiting? Who do you want to get franchise tag?
Joel Batonio.
Yeah, unfortunately, news just dropped. The news just dropped.
What a dick move. You're like, yeah, hey.
Joe Batonio and the Browns agreed to push back the void date on his contract to the end of league year in March, according to sources as brought out by Jason Lloyd via Dogs podcast.
Did you guys hear like what that kind of like what that actually means? Like, did you guys kind of?
I've heard two different
sure
stories.
If that was a possibility, and then I heard about it. I was like, oh, so there is like.
Yeah, so I would assume he's waiting to see. He's like, let me see what you're going to do before I commit to you. I would assume.
Yeah, and either that, I mean, yeah, that's a good possibility, or even like, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to be done, but let me have like a month to like see if I like am gonna, just more
Did
time,
that last
right?
year as well.
The
Right,
thought
but
of him not
last year he was still under contract and he would have been like retiring out of his contract. This year he's kind of free agent, and those void years, I was like, oh, so if I thought he had to make the decision by this week because the void year kicks in now, and we have to pay it if he was gonna retire. But I didn't realize they could negotiate it. And now moving it back means there is still a chance that they can bring him back for one more season.
So you're telling me there's a chance,
right?
So
Yeah.
I have a scenario with the offensive line.
Mhm.
If Joe comes back, you got a pretty solid veteran. You have a new regime other than Andrew Berry. Do you think there's a possibility that they can talk to Wyatt Teller and just convince him to come, maybe sign a 2-year deal type of thing, money up front, just to have another veteran there? By that way, you feel you don't need as much on the offensive line right away. You can kind of push that back
Right.
to next year.
I mean, to be honest, if they haven't effectively replaced at least one of those by now, then they kind of did themselves a disservice, right? They have some options, but I don't think nobody should be betting on Wyatt Teller coming back. But I don't think you can count out any idea of like, we brought in a new line coach, maybe he would work well with them. Maybe he was pretty convinced he's gone, but maybe because of the changes, I agree, there's some room for negotiation. You have to have.
Yeah, I would at least, if I was Barry, I would at least call him up and see if he answers. Right? You just
And
be
they
like,
both.
hey, yeah.
He had a rough year last year too, but there's so much to say about the quarterback situation, the rest of the offensive line, the scheme change, like having 3 different line coaches in 3 years and some scheme changes. So it's a tough one. I still wouldn't bet on it, but I do think you're right. It opens up the potential to at least have the conversation again before free agency kicks off. What you're fighting is the fact that he already is to free agency with no extra risk. So why wouldn't he see if a team that might be a higher contender or somebody that's like, if we can bring a veteran guard in here, we are solid. We can actually pay a little extra because we don't need that much other stuff. It's too easy to test the market now, but who knows? Like maybe he loved when Todd Monken was here. Like he probably, I've said this a lot. the players talk more to their position coaches and their coordinator than the head coach. So he probably had pretty close dealings with Todd Monken back when he was here. Maybe he liked him. You never know.
I never thought of that. That's a big.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That could be big. You never
Yeah,
know.
maybe he just really liked him. And the offensive line coach they brought in, I don't think they've crossed paths, but they've both been around long enough that he knows the reputation. It might be somebody he's like, I know that scheme. I could play well under that scheme. I can kind of revive myself.
Yeah.
So it's out there. It would really help them to come back with one of these two veterans at least, even though I think they're both like towards the end of like they're outside of their prime. But it is hard to bring in an all new line. And even if somebody
Yeah.
they bring in free agency is a veteran, them already being established here as a leader, especially Joe, is such a massive.
Yeah, that's why later we're going to talk
Advantage.
about growing pains because that's a lot to talk about. What you just hit on. Quick clip said, Chad, I truly miss you. Take it out easy on me today. You also asked, can anybody without a beard join? We are not anti-beard racist people. You can join the podcast without a beard. Beard is not necessary. It's just cool to have because
You should see me in like the spring. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gross. This is all gone. I look like this.
That's why Sam calls you 5 o'clock shadow Chad.
Yeah, and this all grows starting September 1st, like whenever the first week of the season is. I grow it, and then like around March, gone.
Yeah, I went to before Valentine's Day. I went to Lego Heads Barber Saloon. Talked to Marlon. Got me a little beard trim. Got me a little oil, a little taper fade. I mean, bald head basically. And he cleaned me up, man.
I need to go.
Yeah, you're gonna go there. I mean, if you're in the area, Brea, Ohio, hit him up, man. He's a good dude. He reaches out to the community. He's got a little food pantry going on. Maybe you can drop off some food for him and get a haircut. So shout out to Lego Heads Barber Saloon for the nice, make me look nice haircut, so my wife can actually want to hang out with me for a couple hours.
It's your second head of hair. Like, do not have some like crappy, tangled up, like unstraight. Like, I let this thing grow for a little while just for fun, like big. As soon as it starts to get like round, I get somebody in there, like shape it up. It's just so much better, and it's just
Makes you
healthier
feel
hair.
yeah.
Better.
Quick, the franchise tag numbers per SPO track. Is it SPO track, right? Or spot track?
SPO
track.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Whichever is hard.
Quarterbacks are projected to get a 47.4 million franchise tag. The rumor is Daniel Jones might get franchise tag if they can't work out a long-term deal there in Indy. Wide receiver, obviously George Pickens. If he signs if he gets franchise tag, that's 28 million. Offensive line, 27.8 million franchise tag. Tyler Linderbaum or Rasheed Walker are rumored to get franchise tag, so that would be what it looked like for them. Now, I read Tyler Linderbaum for a center that's pretty high, so they might not do that if they can't sign him. He actually might be on the market, which the Browns might be interested in that kid. Linebackers 27 mil, defensive tackles are 27 mil, defensive ends.
Oh, you didn't want to say his name?
I know. I got it. Hold on. Odofe Owe is his name. Odofe. I googled
Daffy Owe?
Adafi or Dofe.
Adafi Owe, I think.
Adofe Owe.
I was singing that
He
song
got
so
traded
bad.
from Baltimore to the Chargers, and now he's a free agent. Well, he can be, depending on what the Chargers do to that. Trey Henderson right now can get franchise tag if he wants to stay in Cincy and die. It's 26.7 mil. Cornerbacks.
Those are the situations, by the way. We know Trey Hendrickson is not happy there. We know he wanted a new deal or out last year. Those are the situations where it gets shady because a team like Cincinnati franchises Trey Hendrickson, and that is going to blow up. Like, that is just a nightmare situation. I hope they do it.
Yeah,
And not only that, it's,
drama.
everybody at Cincinnati is like skeptical about paying people at times, it seems, except their wide receiver core, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw Trey Henderson rumored to go to Indy, which that'll look good in Indy. Quarterbacks 20 mil, safeties 20 mil, tight ends. Right now, Kyle Pitts is rumored to get 16 mil for a tight end if they get in Atlanta. Running backs 14.2 mil
Still at the bottom of the barrel. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
They used to
But-
be high end. I used to get a lot of money to be a running back and get franchise tag, but
When I
and
was turning into
kickers,
a passing league and
Yeah.
people
I
are
mean,
getting
this was
injured.
the same money. It was just 15
Value.
years ago when,
Yeah,
like,
so it
that
never
was the
changed.
high end for a running back.
And if you're a kicker and you're testing free agency and someone franchise tag you, you're getting 6.8 mil. Man, that's a good tag for a kicker, man. That's insane. But
So-
that's a franchise Spotrac estimates of what people are going to get. I don't think a lot of them are going to get franchise tag. I do think Pickens might, because I think they're going to be battling out for a contract there.
Yeah, every team doesn't even use their franchise tag every year, which is interesting because we talk about it so much and really like
They
how many
really
are
use
there
it.
in a year? Like you get 10 guys franchise tagged, and I think it's a big deal because of the situation we talked about just a minute ago, where some guys are like just so miserable getting franchise tagged, or some teams. When was it? Kirk Cousins that got franchise tagged like 2 years in a
Twice.
row,
Yeah.
and they're like, just sign the guy to a 3-year deal. You could have saved money by that time.
Yeah. Yeah. On
Do you
to
guys
other
see a
Browns.
candidate? Do you guys see a candidate for the Browns in this like category? The one guy I thought
Yeah.
fit this just
Linderbaum?
like gave his goodbye speech, and the only other person I can think of, I just don't believe Barry would spend the money on.
Linderbaum.
No, he can't. We can't franchise on our
No,
team.
I mean Njoku, I thought was the one guy where it's
Oh,
like, well,
yeah.
if you're not going to sign a free agent tight end, and you're not going to draft, and you just don't, and you need a veteran, so you're not going to draft another. You're not going to have Fannin and then another rookie. That's a tough call. So I thought maybe Njoku is a potential franchise tag target, and the only other one I really thought of was who's a free agent who's actually worth keeping is Bush.
see
But I
what you're saying.
cannot imagine
someone
they're going
just
to have
commented on that, yeah.
JOK maybe coming back, and now you have Schlesinger, who's just incredible, and then you're going to spend 5 million on another linebacker who like is going to be fighting for a starting job if JOK does come back. You're like, that's a tough sell.
Very, yeah.
Sam
It's
has said,
rare.
I'm
We don't
waiting.
have everybody else as a free agent is like a lineman that we want gone. Like you're not going to franchise Conklin or
No.
Keller, or like you're just going to let those guys go.
Sam wants his franchise tag for the Bearded Browns podcast. He's on Saturday's show. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk to your agent. We'll let you know what your franchise.
I mean, we're looking for value and youth.
Yeah.
I'm his agent.
He's got value. I don't know about youth for Sam. He's the oldest one. On
Sam,
the
I'm about
show,
to send you $200. Done
Oh
deal.
man!
Tag.
On to other news. Unfortunately, our Ronnie Hickman Jr. was assaulted in New York on the 16th. He received minor injuries at a local hospital. Didn't release. He is now with his family resting. You can't be around New York, man, and with your go chains and nice cars nowadays. You just got to roll in silence. I wonder. He's on his rookie contract. So he probably doesn't have that much money. I was like, why ain't you got no bodyguards with you?
Yeah, he's not there, and he was an undrafted free agent, so it's not even
so
like
he doesn't have a lot of
he's
money.
on like a minimum rookie salary, which is, by the way, incredible value. He turned out to be pretty good.
Another one by Barry. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody asked real quick what's going on with JOK and the future outlook for him right now. Is there's no official word on his availability for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
His 2025 statement suggested a long, uncertain recovery, stating, "I don't know what's next, but I'll continue trusting my medical team." And despite not playing, he has remained involved with the team, appearing in good spirits last season.
It's a very unpredictable situation. He did say last year, like you said in that statement, my goal is to come back. I expect to come back, but it's just you got to follow the medicals on something that's
serious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't be like our quarterback that makes
TikTok
way too much money.
TikTok videos while not being on a. We're going to talk about him a little bit. And nonetheless, JOK, if he does come back, he's going to come back to a new defensive coordinator room. Actually, a new coaching staff too, believe it or not. Hopefully not too much as far as the defensive side of the ball. You kind of hope they retain everybody else as far as Bana and Tarver and
Yeah, it's
Shazier.
late
So
in the
hopefully,
game. It's late in the game to try to start swapping out position coaches because unlike coordinators, like it's late in the game to get this guy, but it's a big promotion, right? So
yeah.
it's hard to get guys to play like D line coach this far out when you're probably a D line coach or something similar to get hired. Like why you change the jobs today, right?
Yeah, so they announced that Mike Rutenberg is it Rutenberg? Sorry, me and Mike were going over that before the show. As a new defensive coordinator. So a lot of people are like, "Who? Huh? Who's this?" And he was the last guy. Like I didn't even again, kind of like Todd Monken. Not even. I thought it was going to be a guy connected to Jim Schwartz. I thought he's going to be a Schwartz tree, but
Yeah.
they went totally away.
That's
But
our bad. We kind of should have
yeah,
known better that like they were I mean, we didn't know. It's fair not to know in this organization, but we were kind of thinking like, oh, like the ownership in Barry will want somebody in the Schwartz area to fit what they want, but we
yeah,
didn't. We just sort of discounted like they're letting Todd Monken do it, so it's going to be somebody from his past.
yeah. Mike,
Our
what did
bad.
you think about it?
I was reading comments. What are we on? I'm sorry.
The defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg.
If it
So
helps,
Rutenberg.
by the way, they call him Rudy, so maybe it is
Yeah, Rudy.
Rutenberg.
Rutenberg, whatever, that's fine. I at first was like, "What the hell are we doing?" We went with the guy that nobody had on their. I mean, well, obviously, he was on a bronze radar, but the last on everybody's list, from what I understood. So this is going to be just like the Monken thing. After you look up the guy a little bit, after you do the research we did last night, like between Angel, myself, and Chad, and everybody else on the show, there's not a whole lot to find on the guy, but the defensive mind is what gets me, and hopefully he's going to come here. And we've all said it numerous times that this defense probably could run the team by themselves, the defense by themselves, but you need that guy in there that's going to make the big decisions, and that's who it's all going to fall on at the end of the year. So
Hmm.
I think we're going to get over this just like we did the Monken thing. Yeah, I mean, we have no choice, right? Everybody's got
Yeah.
to be on board. So let's
I
look
thought.
forward
I
to a
mean, I was
fun
surprised
year.
people got on board with Monken way even faster
Wait.
than I thought, and I think I put out that poll right afterwards. Will it take a weekend, a month, an off season, or a season? And literally like 75% of the vote was like an off season or less before people like him, and I think that's going to end up being true. But this one's a little different. Like Monken, I think is just a likable guy. I don't know if that means he'll be successful, but at least he's well liked by coaches and players in the NFL, and I think that will make it easier for him to be likable. Like I like Kevin Stefanski, but Kevin Stefanski's liked in NFL circles, but he's not a guy that like players and fans like fell in love with. I just think Monken's really relatable. I just wish that that meant success.
Yeah.
This guy, again, we talked about it. When it comes to coaches and head coaches, I wanted, intelligence, communication, leadership, and like reputation and experience. And like all of those things, I guess that carries over to though in coordinators. And he
Yeah.
actually does. You don't know a ton about him because you don't know exactly what was he doing, but you can garner some of that from the way people talk about him. And he obviously has a good reputation. Like this, he was an unexpected hire that people are mostly pretty positive about right
Yeah.
after he got hired. So that's good. Everybody
Especially,
talks about
yeah.
him.
A lot of people on X they said unexpected, but a good hire. Even, I mean, on my personal Facebook page, when I posted a reel about it, I had a couple of Atlanta fans saying, "Hey, we're kind of upset." Even Quick Clips just mentioned it in the chat there. We're upset because you guys got a good guy. Now, if your fans are saying that about a coach, that's pretty telling. You
Here's
know, if
exactly what they said. As a
yeah.
Falcon fan, I hate to see him go. Our past defense got better tenfold with him. Plus, I feel like he did a good job with the B grade talent at linebacker position before that.
So
Mhm.
so
And
the
Jeff
and
Albrecht, his actual boss at the last job, their
yep.
DC, also, like, of course, everybody has good things to say with the guys that worked under them usually, but he had comments from before the guy even got hired saying,
Yep.
like, how valuable he was that people have dug up. So that's to me is more meaningful than just being like, oh, I love him, he's great, he's gonna do great after he's gone. You're not gonna I mean, if you like him at all, you're gonna say nice things, but the fact that he did that before the guy was even gone and was like, when he's gone, which he eventually will be, we'll miss him, like, that's a huge, like, pat on the back, I think.
Yeah.
That's a
You
nice
see
hit.
those last two comments there, Chad? That rough and tough, nitty gritty, spit in your face coach.
Yeah, Monken's that. He seemed like he might be that.
He also
Albrecht
cries.
said that he's one of the best teachers. Teachers.
Oh.
I need you guys to sense a theme here. Monken is a teacher. He is
Yep.
a teacher in this league. He understands that back end, at the back end, like a PhD level, is huge part of our success back there. Back end of the defense is where Jim Short struggled. If you look at all the passes that Monken was able to throw on us, was miscommunication by the back end, the safety, the corners. There's a lot of miscommunication back there. And this guy, supposedly, according to their friends and the experts who are smarter than us, is coming in and will help that. It is my understanding that he covers all three phases of the field, from run game, from pass, rush to pass game, that he's very smart in all three phases. And I read a story that he came in the interview and impressed them so much because he understood all three phases and had a plan for all three phases of how to improve it. And if you guys
Yeah,
follow this
that's a big
podcast,
deal.
the biggest issue that we've had with Jim Schwartz is the inconsistency in run defense. Because if Tony Pollard was able to run all close to 200 yards on you, I think that's something to be concerned about. And the
What
pass
bothers me
game.
about what bothers a lot of fans about something like that is not just that they made Tony Pollard look like a superstar running back, because they also shut down Derrick Henry. So you're like, okay, that's more like the Njoku, like he caught a really difficult catch, but he dropped a gimme. It becomes more frustrating, right? But what bothered me the most about those games, and we saw several of them, is those teams would come out and run on you, and then it would happen the whole game. And you're like, dude, they just ran for 70 yards in the first quarter. Adjust. Whatever
And
you
he
came
never
in with your
did.
game plan, you
Yeah,
need to
good point.
shift, because they clearly knew you were coming in with that game plan and they exposed you. And it bothered me that that in those games it wasn't like, oh, they just broke for one or two big runs. It was like they came in to run on you, and what you do works most of the time, and this time it's not. But the Browns seemed to just stick with it for the whole game, and win or lose, they got smoked on the ground. And so that, yeah, you're right. That was a big deficiency, because it's not like everybody ran on us, but like sometimes a team that they thought wouldn't run on them, they clearly schemed for other things, and the team ran on them anyway. So it caught us by surprise too often, and the fact that we couldn't adjust was
It,
definitely a deficiency, and there wasn't a ton. We had trouble on the road, and we had trouble adjusting when a team could run on us. There wasn't much else to complain about Schwartz, but it will be important for the next guy to really zone in on those two things.
yeah.
That's what I want to see on both sides. Adjustments, no matter the
Yeah.
circumstances. Adjust. That's the biggest thing for me.
And I think that's what hurt Schwartz as a coach is inability to in game adjust. I mean, we complained about that with Kevin, but yet no one seemed to complain about that with Jim.
Yeah.
Maybe because Kevin was a head coach, so the spotlight's more on him. But also,
And
what
also, like, success, right? Like,
yeah,
we talked about it. We didn't complain nearly as much about Jerry Jeudy's drops when there was a ton of success. When there's not that success, like, the deficiency really annoy you. Drop 14 passes and give me 1,300 yards, great. Drop 14 passes and give me 675, trash. It's
yeah,
just not. It's that it becomes way too problematic.
yeah, I agree. Also, it's said that his defense melds three different evolutions of Greg. Who guys remember Greg Williams?
Mm-hmm.
Was his mentor. Him and his son, I forgot Greg's son, but they coached together in Washington, or now, which is the Commanders, with who's that coach, Mike? You told me, oh, Joe Gibbs in the 2000s. Mike told me that, and I had to look that up. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
he's been around. Yeah, he's been around then.
yeah. So he's been around. He got coached by Joe Gibbs, Greg Williams, which a lot of fans were little bit of fans, I should say, was saying, why can't we get Greg Williams here as a defensive coordinator? Well, you have a guy that worked underneath him. He worked under
Mhm.
Schwartz. Also has a version of the Schwartz version, and he's a Salah disciple. You can say what you want to say about Salah as a head coach in New York. That was a disaster, but his defense seems to be successful. And Salah actually wanted him in Tennessee, but he elected to go with somebody with experience.
Yeah, which is fine because Salah's on his
Second
second
job.
attempt, which makes it your last attempt.
Yeah.
And as a defensive-minded head coach,
Yep.
you come in there and your defense doesn't make a big turnaround, you're probably one and done, and then he's just done. He's
Yeah.
second-time head coaching also for a bad team that really needs a lot. So I could see you wanting to have
You
a
want to
veteran
make sure you
presence.
have a guarantee, like
Yeah,
like
because
Monken's like,
it's different.
yeah.
This is like you had a veteran and you have a very talented group that worked under him, so they're bringing in youth for, like, new ideas. Tennessee's more in a mode where, like, they're just rebuilding their defense, so having also a young defense and a young coach in that position may be a little riskier.
Yep. Also, one last thing on him was when we get into the draft, something that we need or free agency. He's a nickel guy. So when we think of corners, we're going to have to start looking and thinking of a corner.
We don't have one.
Yep, you were going to have to think of a corner that can play nickel because
Yeah.
we definitely don't have one. Um,
Yeah.
so that's
That is
one
a
last
free
thing.
agent target because you
Yep.
cannot go into a draft needing a nickel because how do you know how the draft is gonna fall? You know, if you're not taking one first of all, you're probably not taking a nickel in the first round,
No.
but when you don't take something in the first round, like, everything becomes so it's not like we need a running back and there's all these different styles you can draft. This is more like you're not taking him in the first round and you're not taking a nickel in the first round probably, then
Yeah.
you get into this, will we land on the spot? And if we don't, we got nothing. So I think if people are looking at free agent targets for the Browns, some veteran linemen are there, but I think the next big piece to keep your
Nickel.
eye out for is veteran tight end, nickel. Those are, like,
Also,
definitely free agent type
yep.
guys.
Something that we need to also think of when it comes to the draft is a safety. And you're at
Mhm.
6, and there's somebody
I
coming
think
out from Ohio State that's a
yeah.
safety.
I think you can
He's
go do a
he's
draft, though. I think you can go into an offseason being like, "We need a safety," and know you can get one in the draft
yes, you can.
somewhere in your first so many picks, or if not,
Number
take 2
6.
shots, but I don't think you can do nickel specifically.
No, you can do number 6 and get a safety.
You can
Um,
yeah, I don't
yeah,
think they
you
will, but you
can.
can.
You can,
You
right? You can
certainly
get the
can, yeah.
you can get the best safety in the draft this year. But the reason why I bring it up, a lot of things I read, like you're going to have more demand on the safety position, so more previous than Jim Schwartz, and I'm a little worried about our guy Hickman, who did well, but at times
Yeah, I
had
was
some
gonna say,
limitations.
he's not a star, but I think he
Yeah,
is an NFL I think he's proven that he is an NFL starter.
it would,
He's one of those
yeah,
guys where it's like, you don't have to force it because you don't need to upgrade, but there's also, like, you should be thinking you can look for better, and
yeah.
he's still a valuable piece even if you do find
Yeah, so
somebody.
and if he's as good as developing DBs like they say he is, then maybe he can develop Hickman into what he can be back there to safety
Yeah. My
position.
only negative with safety is it's hard to draft a safety early because if you pick one in the top 10, he's probably a top 5 paid safety before
Mm,
he's ever played, and that's kind of like a tough thing, and because of the value, like, proposition of it, much like linebacker, guard, other things, teams let them fall a little more because they think there are more valuable things you can't get later. And so guys and Downs will go earlier. I don't think I'm not saying he'll fall. I just think it's one of those weird positions where you're like, "Oh, if we had the 12th pick, we'd definitely take him." But we have the 6th and, like, people feel like that's too high,
yeah.
even though, like, if he's that good, what the heck's the difference in the end? Like, would you care?
Yeah, we'll see. We got a lot of time to talk about the draft. That 6 picks can be interesting. We actually have
Yep.
a thing we're going to talk about with that viral mock draft trade that happened over the weekend we're going to touch bases on that and see what we think about that trade. But we're going to get into how patient should we be with this organization, considering the recent changes in the front half of coaching.
I can be
Also,
real quick. We've been patient for the last 26 years. Let's roll.
let's roll.
Yeah. I think that's how most fans are feel. I somehow am able to like, or not even am able to. I'm somehow stuck like compartmentalizing every group as if it's their own. But I think the general fan base is where Mike is, where it's like we've already had our patience. I know this is all new people, and they weren't here, and they weren't part of the past problem. But I think most people are like, I don't want to give this time because like I've given time and I'm not getting that much back. But I can be pretty patient with. I have lower expectations, I think, to a degree. Like, I think there will be some drop off at defensive coordinator. Even if this guy's really good, I would be ecstatic if he's better. But like, it would be weird to think you immediately step in and you're as good as great as Schwartz, who's great. Same thing with Monken. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I hope the offense gets better. It was so bad last year with the quarterback, the line, even the receivers. But I think there will be some other problems as a head coach that, and I think the same with the players. Like, these players have been around and like they've made it clear, like, we are not a piece away. We are bringing in
Yes.
functional, like, cornerstone pieces to match with the like middle-aged, like middle career in their prime type pieces. So they're not like a piece away and a veteran team. They're not completely trashing it and rebuilding. They think they have a young enough core to build in, but I don't think even like Andrew Berry has made it very clear we're not going to come into free agency, spend big money, and get us over the hump. We are refoundationing our team
Yep.
for the next 2 or 3 or 4-year like playoff run.
Yeah, so that's a very good point. That leads me into it's going to be kind of a youth movement on the offense. He basically said on the offensive side, we felt like we have a number of young pillars, cornerstone pieces, but we envision a world where that side of the ball is going to have plenty of a significant turnover in the next several months. Obviously, Njoku's not going to be here. Offensive line is going to be a problem. So that's going to get younger. Maybe even some receivers might not be here. Not that I don't think they can get rid of Judy. I think he's stuck here for at least another year for his contract.
I think they have no intention of getting rid of like a $19 million
Yeah,
receiver that in a better situation. He's just one of those guys that when things are good,
it's
he's
good.
good. And when things are bad, he's a nightmare.
He's to
When things were
blame
really
for us
bad.
losing. He's
I
the-
am
Barry
hoping
probably
to
looks
see.
at him. Barry probably looks at him as like the way we turn him around is to
Is
turn
Monken.
around the quarterback position, and it will just be better.
that'd be true. What you say,
I
Mike?
am looking to see a lot from Isaiah Bond this year. Hopefully, coming out and having a breakout year. That'd be great. We need him.
I think Isaiah Bond might have. I would agree with that, Mike, because Monken has a lot of experience with small receivers the size of Isaiah Bond. I mean, if you go back to we talked about this, his Georgia days, even with Flowers. I know they're different type of skill sets between him and Bond, but smaller receivers getting him in space, using the
Zay
space.
Flowers feels like he has Makai Lemon feels like he has so much Zay Flowers
Yeah.
in him. And Zay Flowers kind of fell to a later part of the first round. It
22.
almost makes me wonder if they still need a wide receiver when they come up for that second pick. I posted about it today on our X. The post
Yeah,
that
you
you
can.
made.
David Boston,
feels
he's
like-
taller. He's got a more of a Cedric Tillman vibe. Maybe he doesn't get as hurt as much. My thing is, if you get Lemon, are you going to be okay with having me and Mike talked about this, and I think we're pretty stern on like not having guys 5'9" all over our roster as a receiver.
I thought he was 5'11". Is he 5'9"?
Oh,
Is he that low?
5'11". Sorry. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
5'11". On
Yeah.
our, smaller
I
guys,
agree. I
we
just
want
think
like a taller guy.
we don't have a lock right now at slot or geez. slot.
Receiver.
I said nickel at slot, and I just think like Judy on one side, Tillman and or Bond, depending on the type of play on the other side, and then he is a fit. But I agree with you. There's risk in him just innately with injuries or with size. But when you brought up as soon as you were like, yeah, he does really well with small receivers, it was like, and this one is ready to catch passes like day one, starting in the slot, and um,
Do you think Isaiah Bond will have that same ability to catch right away in the slot with
I
an
just don't think he is.
actual offseason and then coming in with no allegations, that whole thing that messed his whole draft up to begin with? Because
Yeah,
he was going to be a
I
high
expect
second round pick,
he might have been.
projected at least.
Yeah,
So that's why I was like,
yeah.
well, I like Lemon a lot, but when I see Lemon, I say like, I don't see them being like, yeah, let's get two of these guys and
I
put
just
them
say I
on.
see Bond as more of a field stretcher, like more of a downfield stretcher and
Oh, I
less
see what
of
you're
a
saying. Gadget.
because
Yeah.
he's more like jet speed, whereas like Lemon is more of like a route runner, more of like, and I'm
Orange
not saying
space.
God if this was really him, but I'm thinking of like Zay Flowers getting himself open against like man or zone coverage, just finding the holes, or like the world of like CD Lamb, where it's like this guy will come in, he's gonna be your lead target catcher all the time. My biggest knock to that is more like they kind of were using Harold Fannin like that last year.
Yeah.
And so maybe if Monken sees him the same, that's what's the wild card. Is like maybe if under Stefanski, they'd be like, oh, that's how we use Fannin. So that's not what we're really looking for. But this is more of like what they wished somebody like Thrash or David Bell could have turned into, where it's like, you're just going to be a constant target that we get the ball to. And yeah, he's a different guy than Bond, but you're right. That does give you, if Tillman's not out there, that does give you a not very big receiving core.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
James Frank's comment real quick. Bond reminds me of Jameson Williams. Lemon reminds me of Amon Ra.
Yes.
St. Brown. And I would
That
love
is
for
a good comp.
yes, and Amon Ra is I think 6 foot tall. I don't mind like a small. I don't know, man.
And
I
Bond's
just want
5'11", but he's right. He does play more like Jameson Williams, where like you can get him the ball in different ways, but the idea is he's going to stretch the defense and go deep a lot.
yeah, but I mean, you got a taller tight end. I get that, but I want a tall receiver that can get downfield and make an amazing catch
And
out of the
that's
air.
Tillman, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
he
He's
can't
just
stay on the field to get
he
down the
stay.
field.
Right.
And the crazy is like he was doing pretty well last year. He's kind of saw growth and that concussion.
Same as the year
showed up again.
before. 2
Yeah.
years in a row, you're like, wow, when he was out there, he started to really show something, and then a couple games in, he's gone for a month,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh.
That's how I feel about David Boston, Denzel Boston, I'm sorry. When I see him, I see like Tillman with like if he can stay healthy, like he can. I mean, I think he has a little better skill set than Tillman,
The
but
frustrating thing about Tillman is he's way heavier than and bigger built than like guys like than a bunch of
yeah.
other guys, and you're like, it's always so crazy to me. We had this with David Njoku for a while, like when the guy's got the body of a god and he looks like he's built like a brick, and then he's constantly off the field with necking, necking muscle or ligament injuries. You're like, why are you always hurt? If I was your size, I feel like I would be invincible.
And
Yeah,
wasn't there
so
like a whole new medical staff last year to help? I'm sorry,
yeah.
Angel. Help
No,
with
no, you're
these
good.
Yeah.
That's a
injuries?
good point. That's a good point,
I
bro.
expect more changes this year. They brought in a new medical director last year, but I don't know if he made a lot of changes right away. I think he didn't have time to like rehire a whole medical staff. So this year we won't hear about it, but I wouldn't be shocked if he spent a year evaluating what they're doing, and this year they want to make a lot of changes to what he wants.
Yeah.
I hope, because I have not been happy with our medical situation for
Yeah.
like
and that-
for most of the Browns' career. It's been like
Since
20 years.
99.
All right.
Yes,
Well, now we know how to get Chad back to Cleveland. You're coming here as
since I
the
was in the
Browns.
medical field, I've always been skeptical of the Browns medical staff, because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, we have more injuries than others. It's just the stuff that happens here, like, always raises questions. There's been infection problems. There's been like problems of guys coming in off weight. There's been problems of guys coming in like too heavy or too light. And you're like, some of that is like the nutrition staff, the workout staff, the medical staff. I don't know. Hopefully there's some big changes, because
And they
we
get
have not
fined
been
for
on
that.
that end of it.
There's
They
fines for
can.
that when they come in
Yeah,
overweight.
DeJuan Jones kept getting fined for being overweight, like it happens.
Yeah.
It was like $700 every day he came in overweight.
Mhm.
Yeah, that guy that they drafted, Tampa Bay drafted a huge offensive no, he's a
Oh,
defensive
That
tackle. He
guy's a
didn't make the team.
monster.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
he could because
remember
he didn't
that.
lose the weight, which is pretty
Yeah.
sad for him. But hey, man. So yeah, we're like this past year we were the 24th oldest team. The average age was 27 years, 5 months, and 25 days. So look for that to go down. Most of the majority age was on the offensive line. I think we brought that up a couple weeks ago. So with the younger talent influx, Barry's dreaming of going to be younger, which is why you brought in teachers as coaches. Because if you're coming in with a younger talent, you're going to have to teach them
Yeah,
every
and I
step of
like
the way.
that, especially at the position coaches. I worry about it a little bit with the head coaches because I don't want them to feel like they need to be. I want them teaching the other coaches. Here's what I envision. Let's go over it, and then you teach it to all the players. But I don't want them to get. I don't want to end up in like the last year Stefanski situation where he feels like I'm going to do a separate section for 45 minutes with Shador Sanders at this portion of
Yeah.
practice, and it's like you need to feel comfortable teaching one of your coaches to do that and sending them off to do it. So, like, I'm hoping Monken can teach a lot with his experience to these coordinators and position coaches, and that these coordinators and position coaches can really nail down teaching this very young team. Because next year, you're right, they will be the oldest people on the team. I mean, Flacco is gone. Batonio is
Yeah, I forgot
gone,
about Flacco.
probably. Maybe not if he's back, great, but the rest of the line will be young. Teller's probably gone. Conklin's gone. Like, when you take those pieces out of the mix, you get a very young team immediately. And you're right. It was a lot of rookies last year. They've got, what, 10 picks this year? If a lot of those guys make the team, you're looking at 20 guys who are, like, 23 or younger. That's
That
a big deal for
that
young coaches to have to really teach how they want this done.
that was Wyatt Teller's wife that made that tweet, right?
Yeah,
About
or
all right,
mom.
so it was his wife. I
Yeah,
forget her
one of
name
them.
right off the top of my head, but she made a tweet
Harley?
pretty
His wife's
much.
Harley, right?
Yes, I think so. Pretty much shot at Kevin Stefanski, like mess around and find out right after he got fired.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you're
I'm
right.
wondering if that would bring him back now that Stefanski is gone. If
Yeah.
that was an issue.
Maybe.
That
But
was a
that
puzzle
was a
piece I
weird
put
one
together.
because that was like one of those ones where Kevin was saying, "Oh, we're sitting him because he's not healthy," and then they almost came out to say like, "Oh, I'm healthy," and then like the next week he was out like whatever in a boot for like the rest of the season. You're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, are you healthy or are you
Yeah.
hurt?" Or like it was very much like I do believe that part of it was he's probably not coming back, and we've got a bunch of young guards that have never played. Let's just get them in. If he's even a little banged up, we'll sit him and we'll play the young guys. But they were really upset with that. And I get it. It's a free agent year. Teller probably wanted to go out and show and earn next year's money,
Yeah.
and they were holding him out.
So get ready for a lot of growing pains, Browns fans. It's going to be a painful year next year, off season.
Hey, don't say that just yet,
I
man.
mean,
No,
I'm
I'm ready.
preparing myself.
I'm ready
I'm
for
ready
that. And
for it. But
I think the expectation out there, like we're all hoping for better, but 100% what Angel just said, I think we should. People are already doing they're like, well, Jim Schwartz is leaving. We got this new DC. He's gonna like fix our problems. Like, but also there's gonna be some
Gonna
things
be-
he is not as good at as Schwartz, just based on the fact that he's new. And
yeah.
like Monken's coming in to replace Stefanski, like, oh, now the downfield passing is fixed. Well, a quarterback has to actually complete those passes,
And
and
you need a
he
quarterback.
may not be as good at some other schematic things,
Yeah.
like
oh,
right.
as soon as you said quarterback, you guys
Right,
hear that?
quarterback train.
Sorry.
I'm more worried about the offense because of the young offense making mistakes yet again.
For
I mean,
sure.
what
Yeah, we're gonna have
you
young players,
yeah,
a first time coach. It's just there. I think we should be ready for like the growing pains. And Quick Clips actually said earlier, like, why are Browns fans so impatient? And the answer is sort of what we said,
we're
because we
always
have been patient so long that we are worn out.
and
And
we're
even though it's
always
a new group,
rebuilding.
yeah, it's a new group to them. And it's like they want you to be patient because it's their first time, but it's our 26th year of watching this. And like we need
Yeah.
more better to feel better.
Yeah, we're
So
spread thin like Dylan Gabriel's height.
Not spread too thin, but
That wasn't that great of a joke
yeah,
either. Now that I
was.
said it, I was just like, oh no, dude, you probably
Uh,
should have not.
I don't know if you guys saw it this past week. I think it started Friday, got posted Friday. It was a virtual viral mock draft trade between the Dallas and the Cleveland Dallas Cowboys
oh
and
my
the
gosh,
Cleveland
that got
Browns.
so much play.
That's so much. Dude, one thing
I
I
think it was
saw
me and
that and I'm like, this is gonna get some engagement. So I
But I loved
made
it.
what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you caught it and you made it a post, I was like, I'm 100% posting this immediately
Yeah.
because
It took
it is
off.
a very interesting scenario, and it's about time to start talking about that.
Yeah. So, in case you didn't see it, in this trade, I think it was somebody from a Dallas sports
Radio
writer.
station.
Radio station did
It was
it.
a radio station guy.
He posted Cowboys will receive the Browns 6th and 39th pick, and the Browns will receive the Cowboys 12th and 20th pick. So that would give the Browns 3 picks in the top 25 because we currently still own our 24th pick.
Right.
So my question to you fellas is, would you do it?
Yeah, all right, I'll go first. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think you obviously got the teams that are going to go after quarterbacks and wide receivers, and while we need a wide receiver, I think we could still get a pretty damn good wide receiver at 12. That's what I think we should go after first as a wide receiver. Then you go after your offensive lineman. But that's just me. So yeah, I would take that 3 first rounders, make up for those other 3 years where we didn't have a first round pick at all.
Mm.
That definitely helped build your team. How about you,
I mean,
Chad?
yeah. So it really comes down to how your board stacks, and that's like the boring answer. So I'm not going to stick to that. But it really comes down to how your board stacks, and how do you value the first round? Because if you're one of those people that are like, oh, there's like 7 guys in this draft that are like super great, and then there's a giant drop off, you never make this trade because you don't want to risk one of those 7 don't slip to 12. So it's really about on your draft board, is there 3 elite guys, and then they're like, yeah, from like 4 to 14, these guys are all somewhat similar. And then like you see 39 as a giant upgrade to 20, right? So if you feel like that's a big upgrade and the drop off is not big, you take that trade. I'm not deep in the draft, but from what I've heard so far, I don't know that that's the case. I think there's a handful of guys up top that will be really valuable, and then it could drop a bit. Like I guess I was looking at so I probably wouldn't take it because I was looking at it as like if you want wide receiver 1, or you're flexible, or you'll take also offensive tackle 1, or you're like Angel and you just love Downs where you're like, he's not even our biggest need, but I just love him so much.
Get him.
All 3 of those guys,
Stop it.
one of those 3, a superstar player of some sort, or the number 1 tackle or the number 1 receiver, one of those 3 should be available at 6. None of those 3 will likely be available at 12. So for me, it's like if you have a guy that you just think is a team changing guy, then you just deal with what's at 39 instead of 20. So I probably wouldn't take it, but it really, really does depend on if you are one of those people that are like, there's 5 good guys in this draft and I could see them going 1 through 5, then you're like, yeah, then I can give up 6 and I'll take that extra first.
See, I
So,
see this from the perspective. I know who the Cowboys want. They want Downs. And if I was a GM, I would also want Downs, but I would also understand I also have needs on the offensive side. So I would
Mhm.
want the Cowboys to give me a 1 or a 2 next year because I think this is an even trade. I think it's an even as
It's
far as
very even.
value. It's
Yeah,
very even.
you want
And
the
I
win
want
this
the
year.
upper hand. So I'm going to say, because they don't have a second round this year, I would come back and say, I'll do it. And by the way, I'll talk Downs up. I love Downs. I'm going to draft him. We just got a defensive coordinator who loves to back into defense, and Downs will fit right in perfectly.
You just
I'll give,
watched draft day yesterday,
yeah,
didn't
I
you?
would, I would scare the heck out of Jimmy, out of, yeah, I was going to call him Jimmy Johnson. I was scared the crap out of him. And I would say, I need your 1. I would say 1 next year because I think it's going to be a high 2 anyways because they're probably going to make the
Gosh.
playoffs.
I don't think they're gonna do a number 1, maybe a 2, but I
Well,
don't
I was gonna
think
say, but what about this? Would you guys rather have this deal, or would you rather say we'll take your 12th pick and we want your one next year, not this 20. You can keep 20. We want your number one this year, which is 12, and we want your number one next year, and you're just betting on it being better than 20.
No, I think they're going to be better next year. Their offense was really good. It's their defense that sucks. And if they get Downs is going to improve their defense. So what it pushes their because they're what now they're at 12 or 20th
Yeah.
pick.
I mean, that was the bet they took with Jacksonville, right? They're like, we
Yeah.
want your number one next year, and we are going to bet that it won't be that great, and we'll get a really good pick out of it.
So I feel their defense is going to be better. So they're just going to make them better, lower in the draft. So I would want their number one. And if they say no, I'll just grab Downs.
By the way, I just got to say, I'm seeing myself here in the screen. If anybody's wondering why I'm hunched over like a hunchback,
I can't.
the cat is sitting behind me. It's also why I keep sniffling and why my cheeks are so red because I'm actually pretty allergic to the cat. Only when she's like all up on me, but that's why I'm like all up here because when I lean back, she's like pushes.
You got any Benadryl on hand?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Literally as soon as I get up from the seat and walk away from her, I'll be
gone. Yeah, so that's what I would do, and I would use that first or second round pick and move up and get a quarterback if I need one. So that's
kind of threw me off because my original thing, like I brought up that first rounder, my initial thought was, how about you give us 12 and 20, and we give you 6 and our third, and then or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll give you 6 and the third.
We'll give you 6th, and we'll give you next year's second round pick, but you have to maybe give us like your third. But if they don't have a second, they're not giving up their third because they're not going to pick in the first round and then just be done.
Yeah, they gave up their second for the to the Jets for that lineman Williams.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Mike's like I said, if I can go Mike's direction, if I just felt like there was only like 3 elite guys and a drop off, or if you're like there's 6 elite guys, but they're like guys we wouldn't pick because they're solid spots that we've already got covered.
Yeah, I definitely would need their first round next year, and I'll do that in a second. Because they're going to be if they get Downs, that defense is going to be 10 times better. Because
I would say this:
the coverage is going to be better.
Circle back once we do some more draft coverage and we really look through like these top, maybe. I mean, last year, like we were looking at the top 5 prospects because we knew where we were picking. This year, we're going to be looking at the whole first round because we've got one right at the beginning and one right at the end. At that time, when we really understand the first and second round, I think we should circle back to this trade because we may know how we like the top 10 then. And if we don't love the top 10, we might all be like, yeah, give me 12 because everybody after 4 is the same as people that are around 10 to 15.
Yeah, if it's not Downs, I would agree. Mike would want Tate, so I would do Tate. I would do receiver at 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
You don't get Tate. You don't get what's his name, the offensive tackle that everybody has number 1.
I can't say his name.
That's the only thing that keeps me skeptical about it is you can't get Tate
kid from
at 6.
Miami, and there's the kid from Fano, Spencer Fano.
Yeah.
So if you want like Fano or Tate really bad, or even like you said, Downs, you give all of those up to move to 12. And then you're dealing with like, do I want Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson if they're my number 2 receiver? Or did I just take a big step back? Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's that. That went viral. You got one more thing to say on that, Mike?
I definitely don't want to go for a quarterback. I know that.
Anybody but a quarterback.
I don't even think that's on the table this year.
Neither do I.
It's going to be.
Are you talking about? Wait, you're talking about in the draft as a whole?
In the draft as a whole.
No, I think it can be on the table.
Unless somebody that's like same as like the Sanders deal. Unless somebody there that they think is just like, I cannot believe he's still available. We tried not to pick him and he keeps showing up. Then I don't think you bother.
I'll give
to
you
pick
a
one.
name right now. Garrettmeyer. He's going to skyrocket. I guarantee you his name is going to go.
Yeah.
But
if he skyrockets, then I think he goes by the second round. And that's where
second round.
Like,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like the Browns may be tempted in the second round to get
oh my gosh,
a quarterback.
He's got to go in the second round. He feels like He kind of feels like we're a guy that like
Mike's having heart attacks. Like, guys, I don't want a quarterback. I say,
I feel like it's a guy that had a really bad year this
You
year.
guys are killing me.
people
You're like
just
trying to
expect
come
so
up with a
much more from.
scenario where we can get a quarterback, and I don't want to do it.
Mike's like,
I-
this
It's
is
not
why I
really.
like.
It's not really. A
Mike's like, this
scenario
is
where
why I
we
like
can get
Saturday
one.
show better. They don't talk quarterbacks.
No.
It's not even. I don't think it's even a scenario like how can we get one. It's more like he's the one that I think had a disappointing season that everybody expected to be
injured.
talking about as a top 10 pick, and he had such a bad year this year that people were like, well, forget him. But now they'll get into the combine, the film review, his traits, and people will be like,
Hmm,
oh, we had a bad year, but he's got the things we need
the traits.
to move forward with.
Yeah, so that's my sleeper. I don't think the Browns are gonna. I would agree. I don't think the Browns will go after quarterback, but don't be surprised if Nutzmeyer is one of those guys that everyone says he sucks. He's bad. He had a lot of bad situations. Kelly was his coach. He was
Yeah.
hurt. It was a horrible
I think that was
situation
the
at
big part.
LSU.
I think he spent a lot of the year playing hurt,
Yeah.
and it felt a lot like past situations we've seen where it's like once you get your draft stock just plummets based on your last year, and we've just seen situations where like
I mean, don't be surprised if we didn't think Carson Schlesinger would be on this team, and when he got picked, everyone was like, "What?" So Barry
Who?
might do something again that has us
yeah, you never
saying,
know.
"What?"
And also Todd Bunkin might be like,
Yeah, I
I
like
love
him.
this kid.
Yeah,
We'll
Mike's
see.
gonna throw something on our. Oh, well,
But
something
again,
we'll
if I
announce
was
later. But
betting, there's no way I'm betting that we're
no,
picking a
I wouldn't.
quarterback.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
You
in
know what?
Todd Bunkin's first year with who's on the roster right now. I think they'll probably
Especially with what you can be next year with it being a
and we
little.
know how they feel about quarterback from previous drafts. Like last year, they had the chance to draft Jackson Dart several times. They had the
Yeah,
chance to draft Tyler Shucks several times. Guys they had in, guys that were reportedly liked, and they had the chance to draft Sanders early in the first or second round, and they passed on those with the idea of if this guy isn't a star from the go, we're not using a high pick. They only took guys because they fell to 100 and 150 basically. So like I could see a scenario from the GM position where they're like, we're not going to waste a draft pick that's really high on a guy that we do not see is like coming in and starting for us. So I just wouldn't
yeah,
bet on it.
because they need.
I
You
came
know,
up to a conclusion, guys. I bought a drone last week, and I'm just gonna fly that in a building and look at the big board, take a screenshot of it real quick while I'm in there, and
go to
that way
jail.
we'll get an idea.
I
Hey,
hope
it'll be
you do.
worth
If you
it.
get a
But I
shot of
do
it,
it for the
stream it
pod,
live.
dog.
Yeah,
I do it
Yeah.
for the pod. We'll
please try to do
StreamYard it.
that.
Yeah.
I spent so many years like if I could just like the draft is over and you did good. Like Andrew Berry, the draft is over, you did good. Come on, tell us who you like.
Yeah.
We already like your draft, so like tell us what you thought of these guys. But you can never know. Even like I've heard like even
Oh, I
scouts
forgot about
often,
him.
if you're not the head of like player personnel or head of pro scout or college scouting, there's piles of scouts on these teams that do not know what the final draft board looks like. The
Yeah.
GM knows it. Maybe your top two guys in your staff know it. Your assistant
Jimmy
GM knows it,
Haslam
and your
definitely knows it.
yeah, and your owner and your coach. Like you have like
Yeah.
they talk like 6 or 7 guys in the entire organization actually know how the board lays out or less. And it's more for the Browns because the ownership group is so involved and the coaches are involved. But like that's so crazy to me that you got like 25 people scouting, but none of them know where this guy finally lands on your draft board and whether the GM like believes the scouting report and grade and where they put him.
I have one
Yes.
more question.
Go ahead.
Veteran wide receiver, let go from the Dolphins.
No.
I say no.
No.
I say no.
No. Nope.
Let's
He's
clear the air.
32
situation.
coming off a leg injury. No.
We're not the situation too for
No.
anybody with problems. Like it's just you're gonna put Tyreek Hill and Jerry Judy in a room together? No,
That's
Oh,
not.
dude.
no
You're
way.
talking about a culture setter, dog.
No
That's
way.
going to ruin your culture.
And then
Steve-
you've got like impressionable guys like Isaiah Bond who got out of trouble but like has at least some questions in his past. And then you've got Corley who had a really
forget about him.
like tumultuous rookie year and had to be cut from his team after 1 year. Like, man, that's exactly like you talked to Jarvis Landry about that receiver room. He's like,
Yep.
would you let this room be together? No, then I'm out.
Yeah, I don't
He-
think Tyreek Hill will sniff Perea.
And like James said, Mike Evans. Yeah, but
Mike Evans is
realistically,
testing free agency. He's going to
Which
test
is
it.
crazy after that long. Like he seemed like a lifer. I thought he'd be retiring after that after his
Yeah.
contract ended.
Steve, yeah, we're going to stick on that theme of quarterbacks. So he does answer while we're continuing that theme. That's the next topic here. He from the Glean podcast, he said, "Do you guys think Drew Eller stock will go up?"
That's another guy.
Yeah,
So remember, there's like
forgot about him.
3 guys in this draft. By the way, just flashback reminder to last year when this class was Drew Aller's going second after Manning, and then right behind him is Nussmeier. Those are 3 quarterbacks going in the top 5, and here we are with 1 quarterback probably going number 1, and everybody's wondering if there's even a first round pick after that, similar to last year. I only say that because the amount of people I've already seen saying, "No way, dude, next year's class is so good," when we haven't even picked this year. And I'm like, "Remember when last year's class stunk? So we passed because this year's class was so good?" Like, guy, we just don't know anymore.
yeah, there's not even a point in looking into the next year because you don't know if a person's going to stay or go. Like you've
People were
watched it
saying
happen.
the Browns the Drew Aller would have went in the top 10 last year, and now people are like, "Yeah, he's not a first rounder the next year." Like,
Yeah, they put out a
it's always
top 15 list of the 27
yep.
NFL draft for quarterbacks.
And the year
I got him.
before, it was like, oh, you're taking Quinn Ewers at the
Yeah,
top, and then you're
horrible.
taking Shador Sanders, and then you're taking and there was a whole list of guys they loved. Like, it's getting to the point where, like, we're thinking too high about the guys 2 years ahead. But sorry to cut that off. I just have
Are you
seen so
good?
much of it already where I'm like, I cannot believe people are, like, crowning the 27 draft class after how many people crowned the 26 draft class or 25 draft class. It's not
It's going to
happening.
be interesting in that draft class because there's 5 guys that have to come out because they're done with eligibility. So it's
Right.
not like you can push back. So what's going to happen eventually? These guys are going to have to come out. So you're going to have a
Right.
draft class where like you have 10 quarterbacks
Yeah.
that
And
can get drafted
I
eventually.
guess in the Manning case, yeah, like people thought he would come out, even though we said the whole year, like, there's no reason to believe he's coming out. He's not going to come out. And also, we don't know if he's good. But it's not just about them coming out. It's about Nussmeier did come out. So did Aller. So did Ty Simpson. Moore went back. But like, there were several guys that came out that were like really highly thought of to start the season. And then as the season happened, it was like, oh, they're getting worse, not better.
Yeah.
Drew Aller was supposed to be a lock to be a top 5 pick. Nussmeier was like, dude, this guy could be the next, like, just incredible thing. And like, they are out, they're coming out, but like, nobody is talking about him, at least yet.
A lot of could be's.
Yeah. Speaking
Yeah.
of what could be, Browns are rumored in quotations. Now, this rumor is probably just somebody connecting the dots here because we always need a quarterback to be linked to Malik Willis. The rumor is 2 years, 40 million, 30 guaranteed. Is what the because they said that he can get the Justin Fields deal.
Yeah.
Which there's this thing called quarterback inflation. So every year quarterbacks make more.
Right.
Even somebody who is with 155 reps and live reps,
He
Willis
doesn't
has. He's
deserve
still,
what Justin Fields got,
yeah,
but I could see you getting 2-year, 30 million with less guarantees just for like upside. And because in the end, if it fails, like 15 million next
yep.
year, whatever.
Would you
So
guys
he
want
doesn't
him?
deserve it, but he's the only guy available, so it's gonna get inflated.
What
Would
did
you do?
what did salary cap went up? What 23.8 million this year? Just give him that.
Yeah.
Tell him to
Also,
come here.
to according to Jack Duffin, who's very good on the cap. He said you can still, if they wanted Malik Willis, they will be able to make it work because I think they can just push
And
back some of the money.
I just, I mean, first of all, I don't think we're a giant target for him. He's gonna look at the room and be
Yeah.
like, "Well, Sanders, that's gonna be a nightmare to compete against Sanders because
And Deshaun
you know."
Watson, come on,
And then you got Deshaun Watson, where it's like, okay,
they have the same agent too.
yeah, and there's just so many reasons for Malik Willis to look at this team and be like,
No,
"That's not a great fit for my first free agency."
they don't
in
even
my
have an
first
offensive
year."
line. Why am I going to go there?
Yeah, there's no upside right now because remember, like the draft hasn't happened. He's not like, well, they rebuilt the line. Like he would be signing here probably before even any of those other guys. So we're probably not his top target. The other thing is as a first-year guy from Monken, like, are you gonna, like, pound the table for a guy that's played, like, 1 game in the
Yeah.
pros over I know, like, we have been watching Deshaun Watson not play for us for years, but last time Monken watched him play, really, he beat the Ravens
Came back.
before he hurt that shoulder, and he did something amazing, and, like, his past is, like, some evidence that he has at least been able to do it. I would see them riding with the young guys they have and trying to make them into something, or the reclamation project they have. This doesn't seem like the year if they were gonna go free agency that they would do it.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think they would wait till next year, I think, or later.
How about you, Mike? Would you want them to if they drafted Millie if they went for him and signed him with all that money 2 years, would you be like, great? Because he's gonna be the starter. You don't bring him in and not start him, right?
Most
I mean,
likely.
my biggest thing is he played 6 games at Green Bay, man, as a backup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, could he be Joe Flacco, have 6 good games and that's it? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want another quarterback on this roster right now. I don't until you get rid
Oh,
of
good. Good. Because I have another quarterback question for you, Mike. Mike's like, I have to work late next week, Angel, so I won't be on the show.
See you guys.
Anthony
Won't be here Tuesday.
Anthony Richardson is rumored to request a trade, even though I don't know why
Who?
you would request it. They're probably going to cut
Oh.
you anyways. Would you be interested in Anthony Richardson if he's traded or cut?
Nope. 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 No.
Chad's thinking there.
Oh, no, I'm not thinking at all.
Oh, okay.
There's
I thought you-
I have no interest in Anthony Richardson at
You
all.
have no interest
Yeah.
in okay.
He's thinking where
Alright.
the Benadryl's at is what he's thinking.
He's like, this cat needs to
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no appeal to him at all to me. He has shown nothing. He's another guy we just talked to. This is by description to Tillman. He's so big. How is he always hurt?
Yeah. Yeah.
He broke his face with a TheraBand
Yes.
warming up for the game. Like his whole situation, like good
That's
luck to the
true.
kid. I'm not rooting against him, but like there is nothing about his situation that would give me anything but anxiety. And then like that game he sat himself like between injuries, a need for huge development, but like what looks like not the drive to do it. And then between like just the silly things that have happened to him, like if he came in for free, I would still be skeptical of just having him in the room. The guy sat himself.
Yeah, he did.
What competitor goes to the coach is like, yeah, I
I
think
know.
I'm done.
I need a
today."
timeout, dog.
Yeah. Can you send in?
Which
Can you
is
send in
KP.
like a receiver? Like I'm gassed. I just ran a route. Like you need to send somebody else in. You're the quarterback, bro. You don't get to go over and be like, man, I'm just kind of worn out. I'm out of shape.
I can't believe that
actually
when I saw
forgot
that,
about
dude. He just went over there and sat down. That was it. I'm done.
Like
wow,
just
but
there's something wrong up here. He
Jeez.
doesn't have it, and that with the injury history, like somebody can unlock him. I'm not putting that on Monken and be like, hey, first time head coaching. Good
If
luck
our
with this.
quarterback situation was a lot better, I would be tempted to bring him on and develop him.
Yes.
But I would agree. I would agree because
Totally.
I think the problem with him was he had limited reps in college. Indy
And he had no
Huge
didn't have good
reach.
mentorship in Indy
Yeah,
either. They
huge
brought
reach.
him in and
Yeah.
they did the same a Brownsian move of like
and
we
they
brought in
started.
somebody totally developmental, but we need to impatiently push him in to see what we have. And it was like, you drafted him knowing he was a project, finish the project,
No.
then put him out there.
Yeah.
So KP real quick says Malik to Minnesota, calling it now. And then Quick
It's a
Clip
good
says
possibility.
Willis is going to Miami. Why though? They got their Michigan boy, man. Come on. Richardson is Brandon Whedon 2.0. And then Sam says if we look to bring any quarterback here, Tyler Huntley would be it because he has
Yeah,
history with
that's a
Monken,
good fit.
which would be a good point. And then Earl said he doesn't bash the Browns, so stop bashing his Colts.
Yeah, well, the Colts have made the Colts have made up for it by going out and taking the risk of getting
And
the
the
quarterback
guy
they have now.
some of us wanted.
Yeah,
Joe,
like
I wanted one of the
Daniel
Joneses.
Jones. Yeah, and I think Daniel Jones would fit even better here with Monken because he's mobile and he's got a big arm.
And also, it's not really taking a shot. You talk to anybody at that Colts organization and be like, made any mistakes lately? And they're gonna be like, yeah, we spent multiple first round picks on on Anthony Richardson. Like that was a huge.
Yeah, and they gave
The
up
only
some
difference
picks
between
for,
him and Watson, between like the lack of performance and the injuries, is we locked Watson into a giant deal and they had him on a rookie deal. Otherwise, they used too many picks on him, and he has panned out. He's a big swing and a miss, like
they also gave a lot for Sauce Gardner this past year.
2 ones. They don't have a
Yeah,
one this year because of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a bummer.
All right, last question. It's a mystery question I put on. There's a true and
A
false.
quarterback
guys.
one?
Yes. True or false? An 80% healthy Deshaun Watson will be better than 100% healthy Shador Sanders.
False.
100% true.
I knew
Really?
Chad was going to say true.
I say
80
false
80% of Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was like a 5,000 yard
was.
quarterback. That means 80%. That's 4,000 yards.
Keyword was.
That's awesome. Well, he
Yeah.
just said 80%. So
Yeah,
that means he
80%
is.
healthy Deshaun Watson.
He's not saying hypothetical. He's saying if Deshaun Watson's like 80% of his good self.
All right,
I think.
all right. Here, I'll give you a
Yeah.
hypothetical. I'll give you a hypothetical. With the Browns offensive line right now the way it is, neither of them are going to be any
There's
good.
no one there, so no one's.
But if you
one's
have
gonna
a
survive.
bad offensive line, don't you want the quarterback who's like a very mobile player like that?
80
kind of
80%
bails you
mobile.
out. They had a bad
Yeah.
offensive line in Houston a couple years.
Just like his leg bailed him out twice.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, in this hypothetical, you have to take away the injuries or it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think
No,
80%
I know.
of his current self is very good because he's
I-
already been
I-
bad. But
I would agree with Chad. When I thought of this question, I thought to myself, like, what would get Browns fans to want to have Deshaun Watson start? And if you can guarantee me an 80% Deshaun Watson, I do think he'll play better under Monken than Shador Sanders.
I'll tell
he's
you what.
much closer to Lamar Jackson than
Than
Shador
Shador.
Sanders is.
Not to sit there and say Shador can't
Not that
run.
that's the
'cause
only
we
guy he can
obviously-
play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
that's not
he
the only
can't.
guy that Monken can coach, by the way. We talk about Jackson a lot because that's who he's had. We know, I believe Todd Monken can coach a lot of different quarterbacks. But if you're looking at somebody that can do anything near like what they were trying to do in Baltimore, it's Watson. It's just, I don't know if this kid can even like run the field anymore. The guy's shown nothing for so long. Like,
Well, that and
but
I
if
am
you
looking.
but if you could guarantee me like he's 80% of like the old Deshaun Watson, then we're talking because the old Deshaun Watson had 30 touchdown, 5,000 yard season, and that's like very appealing to me.
Yeah, that is too.
With a complete different offense, but I do want to listen, guys. It was Shador Sanders' rookie year.
Yeah.
Not everybody comes out great their rookie year, and we were in shambles clearly. And
That team was horrible.
I do want to give the kid a shot. I think there is something there, whether it be, I don't even know. My cat's just annoying. Mine just makes a lot of noise. I don't know if you guys heard that, but
No.
yeah, so Deshaun Watson, in order to come here and make this fan base happy, he's going to have to win 5 games in a row. Okay. Though not one single pick. He's going to get booed as soon as he walks out.
Yeah, that's
It's-
true.
Without a doubt, he's going to get booed right away. And then the first ball he throws to the ground, booed. It's going to be bad for him, and unless you win 5,
If he's
Chad,
here
5.
though, I mean, if he's here, like that's what I guess what I'm thinking is if he's here, compete him. If he's not good, he won't start anyway. And if he's a good option, if he looks good, I mean, it's going to be a full what a year and a half, full like 18 months or more away from that Achilles injury. So that shouldn't be a medical concern anymore. His arm should be well healed by now. For me, the concern is
Mental.
he has been away from football for so long. Can he still do it? And if you see him in camps being able to do it really early, I think it's hard to be like, well, we're going to sit you because we're going to put somebody like if he's out playing Shador mentally and physically through camp, it would be really hard for me as a new coach to be like, this is my only shot. If we fail, I am probably fired and never get another chance. He's got to put whoever looks the best on the field. I just have no expectation that will be Deshaun. Like, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he is, though, you have to play him if it's your only shot.
Yeah, I thought that was a good question. But go ahead,
No,
Mike.
it is because now you got everybody fighting. Awesome. No, if he is the better guy at camp, camp cupcake, whatever you want to call it, wherever
Might be
they
a
go.
tougher camp, man.
I
Todd
hope
Monken
so.
is no joke.
I hope so, and I realistically look
I bet
forward to
it
that.
is.
But I want the best man forward. But I do also want to see what we can get out of this supposed first rounder that went fifth rounder as well. There's something there, right? I mean, not just the last name. It's more than that. There is something there. It just needs to be brought out by the right person. Hopefully, we could develop a good quarterback out of him and not trade him somewhere else and let somebody else do it.
Yeah, my fear is I mean, yeah, I agree. You have to try to give him a shot. I just think he has 1 year. I think this is his year because if the Browns are
Probably.
any way close to drafting one next year, they're going to pull the trigger.
So here's
And it's
another.
unfair for the kid, but
What do you think
Yeah.
about Dylan Gabriel? What's going to happen with Dylan Gabriel this year? What do you think, guys?
I
don't
I mean,
know.
you would,
I don't.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if Todd Monken would have any interest in him at all.
He is mobile. He
He
does
didn't use it
throw.
last year, though. He
Yeah, he
didn't use
didn't.
his mobility at all. That was my biggest disappointment. Is I thought, well, he's going to be able to stay in the pocket and launch some quick passes, and then he actually can run a little. Like he's at least as mobile as Shedeur Sanders, but he didn't
Didn't do
functionally
it,
do it.
yeah.
He completely failed at what I thought was like a lock for him.
Yeah.
So
And that's what confused me. I agree. I thought he would do what confuses me about Dylan is I thought he would do a little better than what he did. And the fact that
Mhm.
he didn't do that little better, I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, crap,
Exactly.
dude.
I thought he doesn't have
I
any
don't know what to
upside,
think
but
of you
still at
now.
least it's more like
Yeah.
he doesn't have this big upside, but, like, at least he has this baseline, and then when he came out here, like,
Yeah.
lower than even what I thought was his baseline, it was like, "Oh, that's pretty rough."
Yeah. I can't deal
And
with that.
then, I mean, we've all thought the whole time Sanders has more upside than he has, but it just would take a while. Um, and Mike's right, maybe there is something to unlock there. I just am more on, like, I just saw nothing from him that, like, makes me have the faith that it's gonna happen like what I hoped. Like, it's same as Dylan. Both of them, like, I
Dollar
expected
General
Dylan
is
to just be
gone.
better. I expected Dylan to be better at baseline, but not get much better than that. And I expected Shador to be a project, but once he did get in there, and maybe it was too early, I thought we would see some stuff, and we saw just very rare glimpses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. We went through it. Thanks for answering my quarterback questions for 30 minutes, Mike.
I'm
Those are
gonna
pretty good
get
ones, though.
yeah, they are, but if I'm gonna do the notes for next week, and if there's any quarterback stuff in there, guys, I'm gonna be work
knocking
late.
it out. No, I saw Anthony Richardson. I thought there's a mobile component to him that I thought Monken was going to be interested in, but then you brought up he didn't want to play, and I totally forgot about that. He took himself
Attitude
out,
thing, man.
and that
It's
kind
it
of defeated my
physically
argument. I was going to
I even
argue,
wanna
but
say
I said,
he's
"Forget
there
it."
physically, but he's always injured, so physically he's
Yeah,
not even there, and, like, mentally, like, I just do not shows me nothing to make me think he's a gamer, and, like, it's just not there. Like, I believe Watson I have questions about how much Watson, like, cares about the game and still wants to try. I still think he's more invested than Richardson. Sanders certainly is. Like, I both of those guys I would have above
so
above him on this team.
the way this whole thing has gone, a coach that we didn't expect got hired, a defensive coordinator we expected got hired. Do you think a quarterback like Dylan Gabriel we didn't expect will start?
It's just a testament to how much we guess, but
I'm
we
just
don't
saying,
have
like
any
we've
idea
always
what they're
every
really
person
thinking.
that we've rooted out is seems to be the winner. So I'm just saying, like, let's keep in mind,
I know.
just because we don't want Dylan Gabriel doesn't mean they don't want Dylan Gabriel. And I'll
Yeah,
end
and
it.
we also, I mean, honestly, we've always assumed like, oh, that was somebody Stefanski wanted, but we've never really known how much Barry also agreed. Like Barry
Yeah,
also might have been like, yeah, I also really like him. Like Barry talked shining of him when he started, but he very clearly
he did like
loved
Shador.
bringing in Sanders too.
Yeah,
And
he did
and
like Shador.
Stefanski, even though he coached and did those private sessions with him, mentored him, he very clearly did not like the situation. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, Thank you guys for tuning in to our quarterback podcast. Next week, the combine's coming up. A couple weeks. We'll be prepping for that. Combine, free agency. Those are the next two big events coming up. Last thing. NFLPA report cards are no longer allowed to be exposed. Now they can be leaked,
They'll be leaked.
but they cannot be published because the owners were too sensitive to their harsh criticism.
Probably
of the
ours
players
because he
that they
gets like a
employ.
D every
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, if you guys don't know much about the NFL PA report cards, look them up. They're fun to talk about, but we won't be talking about it on this show unless they're leaked. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the love in the comments. Don't forget, Saturday we have another show, Browns Morning Brew with Mike, Gary, Sam, and Logan. They go live at 10 a.m. and they probably won't be talking quarterback because we did enough.
We talked about quarterback last week. We actually did. We brought it up.
I think yeah.
I think
but hey,
Sam is over the Watson talk is really
Yeah.
what it is.
It's going to heat up. It's going to be the aunties and uncles versus the fours here soon. So get ready to see that in the
Aunties
chat.
Outnumber them by so many.
Wait until the quarterback tracker starts, Mike.
No, let's not say we did.
it's going to be a fun one, guys. As a content creator, I get excited when little stuff like that pops up because it gives me something to post about. But I appreciate the love, guys. Thank you for following our socials. Don't forget all our sponsors too, Mike. The new sponsor, Rust Belts.
Rust Belt Automotive and Diesel. Doug White Allstate Insurance Agency, Rust Belt Automotive and Diesel, Cleveland Ketchup, Bearded Bastards Barbecue Sauce, and Lego Heads Barbershop and Saloon. Be sure to check them out. And guys, another thing I want to hit on real quick. Cleveland Crunch has buy one, get one tickets free this weekend. And it is Veterans Day and I'm not Veterans Day, but veterans and the game to represent your heroes, your police officers, your firefighters, your ambulance people, not tow truck drivers.
Tow truck drivers. You guys have a dangerous job. I watch videos of y'all on side of a freeway.
Not life-saving surgical consultants, that's for sure.
I've saved two people in my duties. I have.
Nice.
But I want to say, guys, get down to a Cleveland Crunch game. We need support down there. It's going to be a fun game. It's a fun family event. They do a lot of stuff for families and everything. It's cheaper tickets as well. Get down to the Wolstein Center and support some Cleveland Crunch soccer. If you're into it. If not, go, and I guarantee you'll like it. If you like hockey, you'll like this. It's the same thing, just kicking a ball.
Yes, it's fun. High intense. Thank you. Also follow Let's Go Crunch podcast because Ethan and what's the other guy's name? I always forget him. Andrew. They do a great job over there. Every Sundays at 7. They actually did a couple of live games recently. It was pretty cool to watch. That's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on Saturday. Go Browns.
Oh, you got to say until then.
Oh, until then. Sorry. Until then.
Until then.
Go Browns.